Welcome to SVG-TV News for Friday, January 4th, 2019. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. The Public Service Union, the PSU, has won a court case on behalf of 5 public servants who the union argued was slighted by the Public Service Commission, the PSC, in its hiring and promotion of several public officers. High Court Justice Esco Henry, who handed down the judgment, found that the Public Service Commission failed to comply with the procedures outlined in the Public Services Regulations 15, 19, and 20 governing promotions. In an interview with SVG-TV News Today, President of the Public Service Union, Elroy Boucher, said the favorable judgment is a win for all public servants.
The importance of fairness in the promotion regime for the public officer themselves. And she said, promotion provides a positive incentive and stimulus to an employee to inspire to greater heights in his chosen field. When it fails to materialize, it leads to apathy, frustration, demotivation, dissatisfaction, low morale, and dysfunctionalism. It will be unreasonable in the absence of reasons for those bypassed for promotion to conclude that promotion is based not on merit, but on some other factor. This encapsulates what has been happening in the public service. This is what has been happening. And kudos to public officers who, in spite of all, continue to serve the public faithfully and productively.
Boucher said they will be engaging the Public Service Commission to ensure there is an appraisal promotion system in place so as to ensure there is not a recurrence in the hiring and promotion process.
We intend to write the Service Commission and to look at the possibility of either them forming a committee to develop a comprehensive performance and appraisal system with the involvement of the union, or whether we can submit a proposal to that effect.
Boucher said there are more workers who have been unfairly treated, and the union feels strongly about returning to court to have their cases heard.
12, 15 plus years who have suffered at the hands of this current commission, there has to be some sort of redress through the court. We cannot depend on the commission to give that particular justice, because it was tried in the case of the young lady who was 22 years in the service, and all you could have given her was a senior clerk post. That's not real justice. Real justice will take into account the number of years they have not been promoted and what you did not do to ensure that there was fairness. So I am sure that there will be another round in the courts. And this time, I am confident that many more public officers who have been crying out for some time, because they have already started meeting and said that they want to be part of this next round.
The court hearing started in November 2017. In her ruling, the judge asked that the Public Service Commission put measures in place where vacancies are reported and advertised, and that a seniority list and principles of selection for promotion be provided. More than 50,000 cruise ship passengers have docked at Port Kingstown within recent times, but not all of the passengers have disembarked these ships. This has been observed by Chief Executive Officer of the SVG Tourism Authority, Glen Beach, who said that while they would like to see more tourists spending time and money on shore, they are pleased with the numbers. Beach, however, said that more work needs to be done by local stakeholders to encourage the tourists to come off these ships, bearing in mind that they offer almost everything on board, from swimming pools to restaurants and shopping.
I still think we lack in terms of our souvenirs here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we've done training with craftsmen and craftwomen and so on in terms of things, because you still have a problem when you have a lot of people who want to make these big things because they want to make a big sale. People are not going to buy these big things. And it's a matter, you can make some small things that cost $5. You might be surprised how many of those $5 ones sell.
Beach said Vincentians have to think outside the box and invest wisely so as to ensure they capitalize on the tourism season.
You have to have the product that people want to spend money on. I think people do spend, and yesterday is a perfect example of them spending. Wi-Fi is big for cruise ship passengers when they come off, because the Wi-Fi is so expensive on the cruise lines. They look for it. You know, your business can revolve around that. Okay, when you buy whether it's a drink or something, you get free Wi-Fi. However you want to do it, but we have to put it out there to make them want to come off. Exactly, the product has to be there, and the cruise business in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is only going to continue to grow.
SVG, St. Lucia and Martinique was shook by a 3.9 magnitude earthquake just after midnight. The Trinidad-based Seismic Research Center, the SRC, of the St. Augustine campus of the University of the West Indies said that the quake occurred at 9 minutes past midnight and was located latitude 13.85 north, longitude 60.52 west, and at a depth of 25 kilometers. It was felt 54 kilometers southeast of Castries, the St. Lucian capital, 104 kilometers southeast of Fort-de-France, Martinique, and 110 kilometers northeast of Kingston in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Earlier today, another earthquake with a magnitude of 4.6 rattled Trinidad and Tobago. The quake, which occurred at 10:33 a.m., was located at latitude 11.02 north, longitude 61.50 west, and at a depth of 40 kilometers. It was felt 40 kilometers north of the capital, Port of Spain. As the fire department of the RSVG police force seeks to crack down on the number of house fires in this country, the head of the department, Superintendent Joel James, in an interview with SVG-TV News yesterday, provided some key tips which householders need to be aware of to avoid loss of property and lives during a fire. SVG-TV's Bavin Oliver tells us more in this report.
The fire department of the RSVG police force has recorded approximately 86 fires last year, with some being house fires, leaving families without shelter for an extended period of time. Head of the fire department, Superintendent Joel James, said it is important for persons to be vigilant at all times to prevent such a situation from happening to them. He said a simple fire in the kitchen can lead to a house being engulfed in flames, and explained how one can deal with a hot oil fire in the kitchen.
If you are cooking or if you are frying and the oil is overheated in that frying pot, what I would like to do if you see any fire, do not throw away the pot in the sink or try to pelt it in the sink, because you may injure yourself or cause a bigger fire. What you need to do, take a pot cover or a wet cloth and cover that pot. If it ignites, if that oil ignites, cover it. When you cover that pot, you will be removing the heat. And if you remove the heat, any of the components of fire, oxygen, heat, and fuel, if you remove any one of those, then the life of the fire will not continue.
Superintendent James said sleeping while cooking and smoking in bed are both dangerous practices.
If you know you're going to smoke, do not lie in your bed. Please do not lie in your bed. If you're going to cook, please do not go and lie down, because most of the times when you lie down, especially at nights and you're tired, you would fall asleep. And you're gonna leave that pot on that stove or on that fire unattended, and most of the times you would have a fire.
The fire chief said some appliances can be a danger as well. He said improperly plugged clothes irons is one of these things.
Irons, they carry elements. And if you put the 2 sprangs into that outlet, you put in 2, and it has an accommodation for 3. I'm not an electrician, but I have the experience. The third wire should be used as a ground for that electrical iron. Most of the times when persons do these things, the iron would shock you. If you touch certain parts of that iron after a period of time, you would receive a shock. So I am just warning you to desist from doing this. If you have an iron or any electrical equipment that does not have a proper plug, please get one.
For SVG-TV Evening News, I am Bavin Oliver.
Chairman of the National Nine Mornings Committee, Michael Peters, will be performing his last official duty in that position at tomorrow's prize-giving ceremony of the 2018 Nine Mornings Festival. Peters had said in an interview earlier with SVG-TV News that he is passing on the baton to another person who will carry on the work he and others started 30 years ago.
Me personally, my time as chairman of the SVG Nine Mornings Committee has come to an end. I've been doing this for over 30 years. Since 1989, I've been involved in the development and organization and management of Nine Mornings. So my time has come to an end. So from 2019, new management will be in place, a new chapter begins. The good thing is when I started, there was nothing. I had nothing to go by. I was the only person in the Department of Culture. So what is important now is for the next generation to take the baton and carry it forward, knowing that something is there, something is alive and well. It's big, it's important, it contributes a lot to the economy, culturally, tourism, financially, it contributes a lot.
At the prize-giving ceremony, which will commence at 9:30 a.m. at the Peace Memorial Hall, prizes will be distributed to the various zonal and national winners in the Vinlek Community Lighting Competitions, which include the Best Lit Garden, Best Nativity Scene, and Best Lit Private House. Point Village was adjudged the National Lighting Up Champ for the 6th consecutive year. Tomorrow's ceremony will also hear the announcements for the Best Nine Mornings Community, Best Christmas Community, and the Best Christmas Song, among others. The Salvation Army is hoping to expand its programs this year to reach out to more persons across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The organization's main feeding program caters to about 200 persons daily. Administrator of the Salvation Army, Major Pierre Antoine, said that this year they will seek to extend that number to ensure persons are not turned away.
Feeding program. In this feeding program, where 170 persons, has been fed on a daily basis. School children, adults, and you name them. All right? And whoever come, we don't remember the Salvation Army motto is to provide to the needy without discrimination.
In addition to the feeding program, Major Antoine said food hampers are also distributed to the less fortunate.
From the food parcel, we have 1,000 food parcels. 1,000 food parcels has been distributed to different areas. We have Kingstown, we have Caliqua, we have Leo, we have Chateau-Belair, and we have Leo, Chateau-Belair, and we have people too who come from all over. Oh, we have Spring Village.
Antoine is appealing to members of the public to continue to give support to the programs of the Salvation Army.
During throughout the year, whatever they can, whatever the public can to support the Salvation Army program, I would encourage them to do so. All right? I would encourage them to do so. People come to the Salvation Army from time to time because they know Salvation Army. But when they come now, so you have to find something. Sometimes some people who come who come here, we cannot let them go without giving them anything, because we have to assess them, all right? We have to make an assessment to see if they because sometimes, you know, we know how people stay. Sometimes people want, but they don't need it.
The Salvation Army Christmas kettle has fallen short of reaching its target of $110,000 AC. However, Major Pierre Antoine is optimistic that they can reach the target before month's end.